locally so I can post it on YouTube afterwards. Yeah, okay. So welcome to Summoner's Rift. Again, my name's Meristematic. We are here with League KC Week 1. This is the Platinum Cap Division. On the top side, wearing the red-colored health bars in this game, it's going to be Team STL. In the top lane will be God playing Ornn. In the jungle, GG playing Jarvan. In the mid lane, Jonesy has the Malzahar. And in the bot lane, Wing Nation and Poppy are going to be on the Caitlyn-Janna duo. On the enemy side, the blue side, wearing the blue health bars today. In the top lane for Vicious and Delicious will be Aziriously Lucky. In the jungle will be Sandora playing Malphite. A little bit of invades, we can see the vision start to flash out, so both teams very aware of where the enemy teams are. Nothing going to happen here. Where we were, in the mid lane, we have Crispy bot laner, a bit of a misnomer apparently, but he's playing Echo, and then the bot lane of Maltrix and Bad Wolf will be playing Tristana Lulu, the purple Smurf squad, as it were. If you hear any noise in the background, my wife is laughing at my really terrible jokes. I do apologize in advance. And we're going to have a scuffle. As God does the first bit of damage in the game and really sets the tone. So we'll see. Again, our history with these teams, Team STL did win the Golden Under Division in League KC Season 1. Vicious and Delicious is kind of a cobbled together free agent team. I believe Bad Wolf is the only player who's previously played in League KC. So we'll have to see. A lot of nerves usually. I know it feels a lot more serious than it is, and that's a big bonus of the league. It does give you that sort of competitive feeling without being too much. And this is really good. God is going to win those trades with the Bellows Breath coming in along with the Brittle Stacks. Maokai can regen pretty well, but it does have a 30-second cooldown to start with, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And there's a nice passive proc for Crispy bot laner. And now God's hit level 2 first, and he's trying to make something happen. We're apparently really focused on this tank matchup that I don't think we're going to see too many kills in overall. Maybe we'll be wrong, but I'm interested to see. We've seen pretty normal jungle paths from both junglers so far, although now Gigi's headed in toward the blue buff, and Aziriously Lucky is just taking that trade. And he loses it, and First Blood goes over to God. Aziriously Lucky disconnects. They do have a pause. There we go. I was wondering when that would come in. That didn't look like a trade he really wanted to have, but hopefully he'll get back in before too long. We do have 30 minutes of pause time, so we do have something to work with. And we see GG's even gone in on Sandora, chunked him out to half already. Granted, Jarvan doesn't have a huge amount of follow-up damage after that Flag and Drag combo, but not the ideal time, I would say. They are re-ready. It looks like Aziriously Lucky did reconnect. We'll see if God does something. It didn't seem like he was too happy with getting the DC killed, even though, I mean, you've got to be happy with a free 300 gold. People did say ready, but the pause is still on. Oh, there's another ready. And we are back. GG and Sandora still going to be auto-attacking. GG's immediately going to back out. A little bit of having finished his burst combo and a little bit of probably respect given for the DC. That's kind of an unfortunate start, but it is a 1-kill-to-0 lead and about a 500 gold lead very early on in the game. We'll have to see. God doesn't actually have to go back to base here, so that's an interesting choice. Now Gigi's going to come back around, but Crispy bot laner following him on the Echo. Smite over the wall is going to be secured by Sandora. And apparently we're not interested in watching this. I do just have it on directed camera. Gigi's still fighting, going through this invade, and he's getting a better of a trade with Crispy bot laner. That red buff ticking him down, and Crispy bot laner down to about 200 health, but he does get out of there. And this is a matchup that I would say is fairly Malzahar favored. Echo doesn't do too well into that passive shield, plus being silenced and suppressed and held still is kind of the the opposite of the MO of Echo, who wants to be everywhere and dashing in and out of fights. So it seems like a really good counter pick in mid for Jonesy. Unfortunately, I don't know how the team fight's really going to play out with this gigantic tank wall of Maokai Malphite with Echo diving in. It's going to be hard to pick that out when they really need to worry about the Tristana in the backline. But Caitlyn does scale really well. I did mention during Champ Select, but into mid and late game now after the trap buff. So we'll have to see. It'll really become about the 80 carries even more than perhaps is traditional. And God is tearing through Azuriously Lucky. Yeah. Now Wing Nation and Maltix going to go in for a little bit of trading. The shield's negating a lot of damage in that lane, but we can see both AD carries chunked a little bit. Already about a 10 CS advantage for the Caitlyn, but that's something you'd expect. And when you're playing Tristana, you do kind of go in expecting to be behind in CS. Just not a great early. Although the jump in immediately to get the trap proc, good trading back with the Piltover Peacemaker. Both supports still at full health, but both AD carries chunked out really hard. No Summoner spells burned yet, but both Biscuits gone, and the flash in from Poppy, jump in from Maltix, flashback through the exhaust, heals use, Maltix jumps in, trying to get first blood, but GG is here to turn it around, and, well, the explosive shot does come in. God with the teleport in, now chasing Bad Wolf X out. He should be fine. Flag and Drag comes in. The slow, not quite going to provide enough cover to go for that dive. And Wing Nation gets more or less out of there. It does pick up the first kill. The explosive shot able to at least equalize for Maltix. Turns it into a 1-for-1 trade. Teleport used by God, but not by Azuriously Lucky. So that Maokai's going to have teleport advantage. And we're coming up on that kind of dangerous portion of the game where the bot laners are stuck at level 5, but everybody else on the map is level 6. And they have the double TP with Echo, with Maokai. They could really make something happen. But there's Jonesy hitting 6 first, going for the suppression. The Space Aid's ticking down, but Crispy bot laner's okay. For now. I don't know that I would necessarily stick too close here, as Malzahar does have a reasonable effective range. GG is lingering around the side. They could go for a dive. Although now level 6 on Crispy bot laner, maybe not the best idea. And we can see some pings. They know where GG is. GG does get spot out on the red buff. Some good wards already from Vicious and Delicious, able to spot him out. Both top laners should hit 6 fairly soon, and that gives them a lot of map-wide pressure. The Maokai ult has a pretty ridiculous range, the Ornn ult has a pretty ridiculous range, but if they're stuck on that top lane island, I think Ornn just gets the better of this. He's pretty good with that percent health on the brittle. Both of the grass procs coming off. And the Ornn ult comes through, going to get the knock-up. Bellow's Breath connects, the brittle debuff is still on. And he will pick up the kill. So God up to 2-0, and really asserting his dominance over top lane. And Azuriously Lucky will probably have to burn that teleport to get back to lane or risk losing a lot of damage on that tower. But God's paying a lot of respect and actually going back home right now. Space Aid's ticking on Crispy bot laner. He gets the shield, but the Voidlings are just eating him alive. Now we look across the board. STL does have advantages pretty much across the board in terms of CS, except in top lane, where the kill advantage, of course, goes over to Ornn. So we'll have to see how they choose to snowball that. Dragon becomes an objective now. Rift Herald, a very big consideration, especially with a lead on your top laner. And we could look to see this game burst wide open before too long. But now Morgan trading. Both level 6s in bot lane compared to a level 6 and a level 5, so a little bit of trading advantage for Tristana and Lulu. And Tristana benefits a lot from that Lulu shield. Now I'm interested to see the jungle pathing. Maltix does jump in. He's been very aggressive on that Tristana. This time, doesn't look like that's quite what he wanted. The Unstoppable Force actually misses from Sandora, but Crispy bot lane are able to pick up the kill on Poppy. Meanwhile, in top lane, God and Gigi just fighting as Seriously Lucky. The Flag and Drag misses the knock-up, but should be enough to pick up the kill. With the red buff, Tower Shot makes it a little bit more interesting, but he does get out, and the 4 men on the bot side of the map are going to pick up the dragon. And Rift Herald hasn't spawned yet. Jonesy's doing a really nice job pushing this tower with the Voidlings. He's got a huge minion wave plus the Voidlings to back him up. If they can spring 2 towers in exchange for a dragon and a kill, that's a pretty big advantage for STL in terms of global gold, even at the cost of a little bit of local gold. Wing Nation tries to check in on that dragon. Maltix is right there to just give him the cannon barrage to the face. Dragon did go down. That Earth Dragon going to start stacking up for Vicious and Delicious. Mid tower's chunked pretty low, but not done for. But first tower top lane does go down to STL, and we can see a 2,000 gold lead, despite what looked like a good play. They'll have to really leverage that Earth Dragon into late game. It is a good dragon to have, don't get me wrong. And the Malefic Visions, or that's not the name of the ultimate, the Nether Grasp, excuse me, going down from Jonesy, able to really burst Crispy bot laner out. God's caught a little bit, but has the Ornn hip thrust to get away. But we are seeing Jonesy open up a really big CS lead, just to draw a little bit of attention to that. The 25 CS lead in mid lane is pretty vicious for the for the Echo to deal with, honestly. Echo is the better roamer. He does have teleport, so we should see him start to make some plays. I'm wondering, okay, it looked almost like he was DC'd again, but he is going to go for the scrap. And again, God should have no trouble winning most of these. He actually bought a Sheen to go for the Iceborne Gauntlet first. You know, a lot of trading going on bot lane. Maltix jumps out. GG lands the Jarvan Jacuzzi, but Malchix is trapped in there for the time being. I guess he does have Flash available, but not necessary there, so mostly an unsuccessful gank. No summoners burned. Just a little bit of trading advantage. And we've seen GG really roaming around the map well. He's been making things happen in all of his lanes, whereas Sandora's been struggling a little bit. This is mostly due to their characters. Malphite hits that huge ganking spike at level 6. He does have Unstoppable Force available, and is Seriously Lucky has roamed down as well. They're not quite together as a team, as Maltix and Wing Nation scrap at it again. Wing Nation winning the trade, at least at a reasonable level, despite the even items. But choosing to back off the wave as they don't have any vision. And kind of interesting, both supports actually opting away from a Sightstone early, which is something that we do see in a lot of these competitive games. People prioritize vision pretty heavily. God's going to hit the battering ram, but not quite the right direction. And Crispy bot laner is going to get out as he's joined by his friend, the trees. But this does give Jonesy a pretty free push on mid. He's got that passive shield up. Now Sandora could theoretically ult. God has roamed down. Tower picked up, though. Second turret of the game over to Team STL. And they're really picking up where they left off last season. This is pretty clean, giving up a couple of kills, but overall in control of the game so far. God forging up an item. Is this the Iceborne Gauntlet? It is. And is Seriously Lucky has wandered into trouble. Big tank battle isn't going to result in very much. It is interesting with both AD carries very even. They've both chosen to go for the Infinity Edge first. prioritizing that over, I don't want to say more traditional power spike, but a lot of people have been favoring the BF Zeal combo in terms of raw damage output. But both finishing up that Infinity Edge gives them pretty identical power spikes. Soon, it is still 5 levels away, but soon Tristana is going to start outranging Caitlyn, and some of these trades might start to look a little bit different than they have currently. And Poppy is going to rush that Ardent Sensor. Looks like Lulu is as well, but a little bit more delayed. Or no, I guess they're actually even. I'm losing my mind. There's teleport was canceled there from Maokai, as he does spot out everybody. This is a 3v2 developing. The Nether Grasp comes in, but he's deleted first, so seriously lucky not going to participate. The Jarvan Jacuzzi does lock everybody up. STL health bars are all really low. Sundor trying to chase everybody down, but their health bars just run out before they're able to get anything. Double kill picked up by GG. Tilt over Peacemaker over the wall, not able to pick anything up for Wing Nation in the bot lane as they trade a couple of summoners back and forth as well. No Rift Herald picked up, though. Is still an objective on the map, so they didn't get the ultimate goal of everything, but were able to secure 3 kills and get the game snowballing even more in their favor. It looked like a good set of ultimates. Everybody was really clumped together for STL, but with Maokai already dead, they were missing that tank, and Crispy bot laner just not doing a huge amount of damage early on. He does still have that ultimate available. I didn't see it go off during that fight. He might have been out of mana, but kind of unfortunate not able to land that big chunk of damage for AP Echo. So as we travel in, a lot of pings going down toward bot lane. GG has started. This is the second Earth Dragon. This is to equalize the dragons if STL is able to secure it. Gonna pull it out of the pit here. Chrono Break comes in. Not able to land anything. Flag and Drag connects into the Nether Grasp, and Echo's deleted before even able to do anything. The dragon is stolen by Sundora, but at what cost? A double kill for Wing Nation. Maltix is on the run, but God is on the other side. And the Jarvan pit able to pick up the kill as well. 10 kills to 2 already for STL. Bad Wolf trying to make something happen over here, but what's a Lulu to an Ornn? That's a huge chunk of damage. That W does more damage than I remember, that Bellows Breath. And now bot lane turret under fire as they're looking to turn their gold into even more gold. But we are hitting that classic point. Now, all of the outer turrets are gone, dragons off the map. If they went and picked up Rift Herald, they'd kind of have the trifecta, but this is where it gets a little bit more difficult to shot call. How do you break the inner turrets? And it's a question that we see a lot of teams around this level really struggle with, is where to go from here. And sometimes you start to bog down in the mid game. Even pro teams have a lot of trouble at this stage trying to decide where to pressure. We can see teleports down for STL, but both teleports are up for Vicious and Delicious. So I'd like to see them spread the map. Meanwhile, you want STL to kind of group up, and we'll see which kind of game we turn into. If this turns into the ARAM, that definitely favors STL. If this turns more into separate side lanes, you could see a play being made by Vicious and Delicious to get back in the game. And we see blue team, Vicious and Delicious, setting up. There are 5 men in this bot area. Actually, as I say that, Maltix has gone back, so it's 4, but they are pressuring currently. Meanwhile, God's got free reign in the top lane. They do have, again, they have 2 teleports, and they also have the Tristana on, it looks like, anti-Ornn duty. But now both teams setting up what looks to turn into the ARAM. God's collapsing from behind, And this could be a really big Ram ultimate. Crispy bot laner goes down to the Nether Grass before he's able to do anything. Aziriously goes down as well. Bad Wolf trapped in the Jarvan Jacuzzi, and that's not a little bit too much heat for the Lulu as she does go down. So 3 kills over to STL and the push in mid lane. Only Malphite and Tristana survived through that fight, and both of them were not in that fight originally to begin with. Good connection from Ornn, the unstoppable force not able to mitigate any of it as Tristana goes down. Sandora falls as well. Not quite the ace as Crispy bot laner had respawned, but still a strong push in mid as STL rolls through the mid inner turret, rolls through the inhibitor turret, and the collapse from behind from God was so strong. The Call of the Forge God able to connect, now Aziriously trapped up, as well as Bad Wolf. Crispy bot laner chrono breaks through as the Ace in the Hole connects onto his support. Triple kill over for Wing Nation. Call of the Forge God and Nether Grasper back up, and they're just going to continue rolling through the classic one at a time strat, not paying off for Vicious and Delicious as they're trying to defend their base. 19 kills to 2, right at 20 minutes now, as STL breaking through the Nexus turrets. God, not afraid of the Nexus turrets even. Going in on Sandora, he's taken low, does get a little bit of health back. And now the health bar is just blinking a little bit too red for STL as they've chosen to recall after taking down one Nexus turret. Now ping's going on to Baron. They'll just get vision control, grab the Baron, probably go in the game. Not exactly a foregone conclusion, but is at least a smart step in the right direction. Really strong performances by STL. We saw an early lead in the top lane, maybe unfortunately to the DC, but God did really cement it afterwards with his play. And the Call of the Forge God on that team fight in mid, the game wasn't super close, but able to cut apart the team and provide that initiation that they needed. The Jarvan Ornn has been a pretty disgusting combo this game. And we've seen Jonesy hitting the Nether Grasp on Echo pretty much every fight, not allowing him to participate, even with the Chrono Break available to him. Crispy bot laner thinks he's found a tasty treat in Janna, but Poppy's going to be able to disengage. Bad X-Wolf, excuse me, by himself, gets caught out by 3 men. Nether Grasp is going to come through again. This is unfortunately a little bit familiar, but Crispy bot laner able to use the Chrono Break, get back for a little bit, but he's burning down to the Space Aids. We heard the Call of the Forge God go off. Sandora's locked up. God just really doesn't care about your towers anymore. And GG and Poppy now pushing in 2v2 on Maltrix and Aziriously Lucky. The knock-up into the flag... Well, the knock-up into the Flag and Drag are the same thing. Excuse me. But another kill picked up, and this should be the game ending before too long. Aziriously Lucky trying to find something to do, but it's just not going to happen for him. Nexus turret goes down. Nexus will fall. And that's a really clean Game 1 win for Team STL. 24 kills to 2. And honestly, a pretty dominating performance across the board. We saw a small hiccup in bot lane early on, which was mostly just a trade, honestly. And that was the only luck that Vicious and Delicious was able to have that game. So pretty clean Game 1 win for Team STL. We'll be right back with Game 2. We'll see if Team STL continues their steamroll, or if Vicious and Delicious can pull out some picks to turn this around. So we'll be right back in just a couple of minutes once the team set the lobby back up. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in just a second.